Before starting the project, I'll start off by saying thanks to College Finder team. For past few months, I have been learning data science and machine learning from various resources in the internet. While learning in this period, I came across with a post of College Finder's data science interns come trainee research operation program and joined the course in the August. Since the first day, I learned a lot from the mentors, and their friendly manners to me and my fellow interns made the work a lot easier. I want to specially mention one thing. Even while doing this news weather app project, I faced so many queries, and they were even ready to help at past midnight. Like almost at 2 a.m., they were trying to solve my queries and stuff. While doing this program, we created a great community in LinkedIn, helping each other out and sharing our thoughts on any each other's project. So till now, I can say that beside the technical skills provided by the mentors, this program helped me to group so many non-technical skills which are necessary for a data science job. So without any further ado, let's jump into the project. Hey coders, the main motive of the project is to create a news app that will collect news from APIs and show them along with a weather checker, and all of this will be done in GUI mode. This project was given to me by College Finder. I am an intern there. So without wasting a further time, let's start with the project. Here we are in the folder, and let's open this with code. I'll be doing this project in Visual Studio Code. You can choose whatever any ID you like. So let's create a new file first. So let's name it as news app.py. So our file has been created. Let's start with the project now. To work with GUI in Python, we can use there are some modules like Pygame, tkinter, turtle, etc., etc. We will work with the tkinter module. Let's start with that. Tkinter import. With this line, we are actually collecting all the functionalities of tkinter with this asterisk. Let's for some more modules. Like now, let's create a new class that will be used to show the news app. Let's create the class. Let's initialize it first. And with this line, basically what we are doing is when we will call this particular class, that is news app, we have to give at least these two parameters. We are storing this app parameter in this self.app. We want to give a title to our app, and with this line we are basically doing that. So our GUI app will have the title news app. Let's set its geometry first. So what we are doing is we are creating the basic geometry of the app, GUI app. That is the our created app will be of this size. So let's create some variables that will be needed for this project, of course. So here we want to show some particular categories that the user will select from the category, and the news from that category will be shown on the message box. So let's do that. So first, some general message. Here we basically created an array that consists some particular categories that will be shown in our news app. Now let's create the GUI. Sorry, I have given some parentheses. Let's check. Up to this point, let's check up to this point our window is creating or not. So let's run this. So here we can see a window of the size this is already created. So now let's dig deep into the project and add the categories, labels, and etc, etc. Let's add some background color. Our background color will be uh, so I have checked this color and this looks pretty cool. You can use whatever color you like. I am fast forwarding this part. So with this part, setting the background color of background setting the background color of the window. And with this line we are basically setting the button colors, and the news will be shown in white. Now let's create the buttons. Create the buttons and the let's now we have to create the buttons, and let's run this and I'll so here we want to create the buttons here, and give some heading like it's the news app, and here we want to show the news that is coming from the API through APIs. Let's do that. Let's create label on which the labels have to be made, that is saved.app. text will be user font. I will be using Comic Sans. You can use whichever font you like. Size, let's say 20, and make it bold. Let's with this line, that relief group, you will see what it does in a minute. It basically gives some 3D style to the buttons and all the widgets. Pad by 2, it shifts 2 pixels from the y-axis, starting of the y-axis of the window. Let's give PD equals 12, and let's pack it and fill it along x-axis. So here what we did is we created a label in self.app and give some text to show that it is news app, and we are using Comic Sans font with size 20 and bold, and with this what relief.group, we are basically giving some 3D style to our widget, and with pad y we are shifting the widget to 2 pixel down along the y-axis, and with this dot pack fill equals to x, we are basically filling our widget along the x-axis. Let's see it works or not. So here you can see can see that it gives some visually 3D representation. That's why we use the relief equals to group. So we have so we have created the label of that shows that it is a news app and stuff. And now let's make the categories first. Categories using the label frame. We are creating the label frame in the serve.app, and I use the tasteless category. Use the font. I'm going to use this. So here we made the categories part. Let's place the categories. What I did is in our news app window, we are placing the categories at axis x equals to x equals 0 and y equals to 80, and the width of the categories part will be of 300, and the relative height of the width will be 0.88. It's almost 88%. So let's see what does it look like. So here you can see that This is the category part, and this is the news app. Now let's create the buttons of under the category part. With this, we will have a button named general, entertainment, business, sport, technology, health, and science, and all of them will be in the category widget. Instead of doing this one by one, I'm going to use a for loop for creating the buttons. Let's do that. I in range. I'm going to use the length of self dot new cat. In this for loop, I'm going to make the buttons equals to, where I'm going to make the buttons is the categories, and the text of each button will be each of this self dot new cat general, entertainment, and dot dot dot. So let's do that. Self dot, and let's use them as in uppercase. Now let's give the font. Again, I'm going to use the same font, this one, and again you can use whichever font you like. You can give custom height and width according to your choice. So here we have created the buttons, and now we have to place them. And for placing buttons, I'm going to use the grid option of tkinter. Buttons dot grid. Here row equals to I. Basically what we are doing is, yeah, for each row, for the first for loop, our row will be this, then 0, then 1, then 2, and that's how for each row one button will be created with the name from the save.nycat. So column equals to 0, and let's give some padding. Now let's see what it looks like. It doesn't look that much good. let's let's edit some of our code, and let's see what happens next. Let's create another variable. let's add some colors. Let's mm, if you use the foreground color as uh, font color. I haven't given any. I have missed some parameters. So I have decreased the font size of the buttons, and it will do this and do the good. Let's see. Let's run the, and here we can see that our app. So it's showing the news app, the category general entertainment business, and they're working as a button. You can click on it. Now our GUI part is almost done. Uh, uh, let's run this again, and you can see this and this part this white part of our window where we want to show the we want to in this white part of the window we want to show the news that is collected that will be collected from the APIs. So let's create a frame here. Return frame in news in self.app, and delete will be same group. And delete will be 7. Now our frame is done, and now let's paste the frame. Let's see how does it look. We have created a frame where we will be showing the news. Now let's add some label there. This part of the code is basically repetition of the first two previous parts. That basically we are creating labels, frames for each of the part. First, we created the frame of showing the heading and news app. Then we created a category column. There we created a frame with the name category, and there we created labels, buttons that shows the categories of the news, that is sports, science, technology, etc. And now in this part we are basically doing creating another frame where we will be showing the news. And for that we are after creating the frame, we are making the frame, we are adding some labels to it, so that we can edit the frame a little bit further. Font I'm going to use to make sense with size 20 bold. Now let's pack it and fill it among x-axis. So leveling is done. Let's see what does it look like. So yeah, here we can see it is showing that a news area. Here the category and the heading, and our news will be shown in this white area part. We can also just change the color of the white part, and we will be doing that soon. Let's let's add some scroll bar. We are basically adding a scroll bar vertical. We are adding a scroll bar vertically, that is this part. So let's do that. Now let's let's pack it. In which side? On the right side. So right, and fill it among y-axis. Let's see what does it look like. So there it is. There it is, the scroll bar. Which where we can actually draw this because there is no information available that can be scrolled. So yeah, let's see. Next, what we can do is add some text. Add some text area. inside text area, I'm going to show in the text area. I'm going to show this. It doesn't look that good, so let's format this. So text area is done. Let's pack this text area. So here we are showing this particular when the user will when the user will open the program. At first, there will be no news to show. So for to show the news, we have to create we have to use these buttons. So before we have to give some warnings or some how to interact with this program. That what we can use we can give to this news area. It will change when we click these buttons. And this white part, basically I'm going to use that part for creating another button for it for the weather part. Let's do that. So let's create the weather button. Dot. You can give anything like check weather, let's see the weather, anything you like. We are just passing a text for the button. Let's give the font. Let's see, for this I'm going to use Rockwell bold, and the size is 40. I'm going to use this export, and HG will be font color. Here we have to mention some command, but we will do that later because we haven't created any function uh, that can be used. So we are just for now we are just doing the GUI part. So let's wait and see, and let's place it. Let's see how does it look like. Weather is not depend. Oh, sorry, where I made a typo here. This is basically if we can, when we click the check weather button, a new window will pop up that will show the weather. Let's So our GUI part is basically done. Not actually done. We have to create the GUI for the weather API. Weather. We do that first. I'll uh, I'll come to that part later. Now let's take the news from the app through the APIs. With another function, news area. Which will take self event. Basically we are using this part even because with each button press, I'm going to pass their particular name, that is science, technologies or sports, as the event to the news area function, and it will show the corresponding news. For that I'm taking this event. Now now let's hit the APIs. So let's get the news APIs. On this, the first link, news API, we have to create a login we have to create a account first. I have already created an account. You can just create an account with this get API. Click on the get API key, and then you'll be showing something like you have to create an account and stuffs. And after doing that, uh, um, uh, probably it will take some verification, and I am going to use. So now you have to press get API key and copy this for your account. You have to use this API, your API key. I haven't copied the API key. So let's copy this. It's created an if string that for showing the. So I have told that the functionality of this event part. Now we have to get the text from this event part. So another variable type event dot widget dot c get what you will get the text part text, and let's convert them it into lower. And on our URL, the on this category part, I am going to use this type of news. So I we have already used some. We have already here we already has shown some our text in our news area. When we are going to click any buttons, we have to delete this part. So for doing that, let's do this serve dot text area dot delete. When any button will be pressed, it will delete the first text area. And let's insert another text. Let's print this line. With this few lines, I am just basically what I am doing is just making it look better or something like that. You can customize it any way you want. And even you just can delete this part. It's basically not necessary. I'm just doing this for it will look pretty good after. Let's try. I'm going to use the try and accept, because if anything wrong happens in error message, anything wrong happens in that it may not connect to the internet, or there is something wrong in API key and something like that. For that purpose, it will show some huge error message in the terminal, and it can cause some harm to our app. So for that purpose I'm just using try and except. So it what it basically does is try this part. If it can't happen, so except try this, except do this. So we can on the except we can just print something like there is an error, internet issue, or just some or we can all just give something like pass. Basically what it does, it doesn't show any error messages, but it runs the program perfectly fine without crashing the app. So for that, let's just try and get the articles. For that, for getting the articles through the internet API, I have to use some module named requests. So if you don't have the request module, all you can do just type this pip install requests and press enter. It will take some time, but it will basically install the module. I already have it, so I'm not gonna download. So I'm gonna end this process here. My computer is lagging basically. Ah, I have successfully closed the installation. Yeah, you have to. You don't need to. You should not close the installation process in between. You have to install it the request module. I'm going to pass the API URL. I'm going to pass the API URL. So and it will get in JSON format. So for further use, I have to reformat the JSON format. Basically, what it does is as we get all the information in JSON format. So for simple simply use it in better, we are just using this JSON function that will divide the file in format the file in JSON format, and it will be easy for us to use and visualize it. I'm going to take the article part. Here what you can see, let's do something. Let's use this browser and just paste this, and on the type, let's assume we are giving sports, and, and let's provide the API key. I don't know if it will show correctly, but I don't know if it will show, but what's harm in trying? See, so here we can so here you can see the we are getting this much of information, and it's it's like pretty huge and really hard for us to understand. So what we can do is, let's copy this whole, and use some online JSON formatter. Online JSON formatter. Look at this. And here I'm going to paste pulse and process it. So you can see it's pretty huge. So here is our, so this is our how our JSON file is look like. It has some status okay. That means our API validation and the internet is perfectly fine. For the status is okay. Now we are interested in this article section. In this article, here in this article section, we'll be having all the news relating to the sports category. Here you can see all this. Okay, let's go back to the program. So that's why I am selecting this article part only. Let's use some condition if article not equals to 0. There is something that is article, something is present inside the articles. The articles. So now let's create a for loop. Set this for loop. I'm basically printing all this part. So uh, what we are doing is, first with this part article, we are printing the first article's title, and going into the new line, and then we are giving the description part. As you can see, we have this article, then we have this title part, then we have this description part. So this title, description, and then I'm going to, then what I am doing is showing the content. But here you can see in this particular part the content is null, but here in this part there is some content. On Thursday, radio jockey Mahesh blah blah blah, and that is what I'm doing is showing the content, and I am providing this part read more. Articles, I am also providing the article URL. Basically, let's see the JSON would be here you can see this URL, I am going to give the all. I am also going to give this URL with this. Basically, if anyone wants to read the news further, basically you just copy the URL and paste on the browser, and it will work fine. Like this, I'm copying this. Let's paste it here. Let's see what happens. So here you can this. You can see this. So here you can see this. We are getting the news. So if the user want to see the news as whole, so so they can just copy the link and paste it on the browser, and you're good to go. And I'm ending this news area section part with this basically. What language up to you, you can use it or not. And on the else part, I'm going to show something like this. So I made some typos here. I forgot to use the underscores. Text about insert. Mm, no news available. Now let's print the except part. I'm creating a message box particularly for this. So basically, what I'm showing is if there's something internet issues or some API, I'm going to show a message box, and that will be print this part. হ্যাঁ না খাবো না so let's see how our app looks like. Let's hope for the best. So this is our app, and if I click here on the general, oh, I haven't created the comments. I should give the comments first. Okay, let's do that. Let's use this. Where is our button where I created the button where I created the buttons? Here. Let's bind this. Let's see. So let's see what happened. Let's run the program. So I'm getting some error. I can't connect to the internet. So I think I have some net issues or something like that. Or I have to, oh, it's basically articles. It's articles, and I have used article. So that's the problem. I think everything is fine now. Let's see. So here you can see that everything is working fine. Then read the latest news provided by news web, and this is the news, and the read more link. Everything is working fine. So now let's see science, health, technology, sports, business, entertainment, general. So everything is working fine. Now we all we have to do is use this check weather. So now we have to create another GUI of checking the weather data from the internet. So for that, so this part is done now. Let's create another file. Let's name it weather.py. Let's create. Let's create a folder. One folder. Let's create another folder. Model. Let's create another folder. View. In the controller, let's create another file. Then controller.ui. In the model, let's create another model.py. And the view folder, let's create an file view.py. Basically, what I am doing is creating a module like I have used These modules like from tkinter import star, from tkinter import message box. So I am going to create a module like that for for doing the weather thing. So first of all, I have created the Python files, controller, model, and view. With the view file, I will create the main GUI view of the application, and for the model, I am using the model.py as how the GUI gonna work and everything like that. And controller is basically a mediator between the model and view. That is this will show this thing after pressing this button. This will show this thing. So basically three parts. One is only the GUI part. With the model part, I'm going to take the I'm with the model part, I'm going to take the data from the net through the APIs. And with the controller part, we are basically going to join them and give the out. And with the weather.py, I'm going to basically give the output, show the output to the user. And after all that, I'm going to merge this to merge this weather.py to the newsapp.py, and that's pretty much about it. So let's start. Let's make the GUI first. So as usual, import tkinter uh, from tkinter dot from tkinter dot constants put star inter.ttk. Have imported use the tkinter.tk inside the class because I want to access the tkinter module through this class view. So let's initiate it first with init method itself. Okay. As we are accessing the another module through a class, we have to use this init method first. Now let's with the geometry. With the geometry. Let's with the So here we are creating the geometry, basically the size of the weather app. So I have created a frame. I have created a frame named mainframe, and let's pack it first. So we have packed this. So inside the weather application, we have to introduce a search field where we will be giving the city names to check the weather data. A search bar is necessary. So let's create a search bar. Search bar. So basically, we have created another frame in the main frame part, named frame search bar. So now we have to create the location search. Save dot location will be needing a text variable. So for that, let's create text variable, which is save dot. Let's name it as where search. So we have to define it first. So so save dot after search will be a string variable, string var. So we have created a entry bar, that is a frame which will take the text value like a city name like Kolkata, Delhi, or Chennai, anything like that. And now we will have to create another button which will be used as a search button. So there will be a frame on which we'll be writing the city name, and then there will be a search button which will get pressed and show the output and other stuff. So let's create the search button. So it will be in the frame search bar section. So frame search bar will be showing a text search, and then we have to give a command to the but I'm not doing this right now. We'll be doing this later part of the video. I'm just creating the GUI now. So let's go ahead and pack this buttons and frames. I'll be so all the buttons and frames are packed. So we have created a search bar. Now we have to create the information which will be showing some particular things like temperature or location. Okay. So let's do that. So basically we are going to use similar kind of things, like we have Here we have done this, created a frame, and then created an entry, then the button will be doing the almost the same thing in this info section. So let's do that. Let's create a frame first. Mm, it will also have some text variable and nameless where temp. So we need to create this variable first. Then we type here. And to type it up. Wait, temp equals to string var. Basically location okay. Variable will be location. Let's create the variable first. I'm just gonna copy and paste it, then change. So location, and now we need to pack things up. Let's do that. So the pack. Now we have to create the details. So I want to make the app which will show that the current condition is this, and the temperature feels like this. Wind speed is this, and the wind direction is this. And basically, this mainly these four things. So for that we have to create labels for each of these attributes, and first and before that we have to create the frame which will contain all these things. So let's do that. Let's first create the frame. I am using this left, and we'll be using the label condition right, label condition left, because let's just think about this. This will be the app, and here will be these things, naming current condition, if weather feels like this. This will be having in the left side of the program, and on the right side will be assigning the values that let's say feels like contains the value 25 degrees Celsius. And for that I'm just creating the variable naming label condition left, that says that Label condition left, and the label condition right will take the value from the API, and label condition left is basically the naming of the attributes. So let's do that. Let's fast forward these things. So we have this four four labels with names current condition, feels like, wind speed, and wind direction. Now we have to create the right parts of the program. So, so here I am doing what, I created another label, and I'm going to pass this value set dot variable condition. So I need to assign this variable first, self dot var condition. Let's do that. Okay, before doing that, let's create all the right components. So all the right components is created. So now it's time to declare them. So here I have declared the variables that are used here. So anyone can think why I didn't use the self dot this variable, because we are basically accessing, we are not going to use these particular variables throughout any other class or functions. But we are using these values, instead of that we are using this self dot var condition. Basically we are going to assign values to this, we are going to assign value to this self dot var var tame, but not this. That is why I haven't used written like this, but you can also do that, there will be no problem with that. Now it's time to pack them. Let's pack each of them. um I'm just going to copy and paste it. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna pack them. So let's explain one of them. Basically, I'm doing is label condition left dot grid. Basically, we are creating a grid across the weather app, and in that grid, the row zero and column zero position will be used for the label condition left, and we are am using the pad by equals 5, because basically we are giving the padding across along the y-axis, and sticky w, it basically suggests that west side, actually the left side of the program. And similarly it tells us the east side of the app, that is basically right side. Similarly, all all of the labels should be back like this. Now, and after that we have to pack the frame also. Mm, so this has been packed. So now let's create controls. So what I want to do is, we all know that there is two types of measurement systems. One is MKS, that is standard or SI unit, and another is CGS. And we similar, and we often use like, um, and just like the unit system measurement, we often use we often tell the temperature as degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. So for that, I want to introduce some radio buttons, which I can select. I can select as Celsius, so it will give the value in Celsius mode. And if I select the Fahrenheit, it will give the temperature value in Fahrenheit. And for that, I am basically using this, creating this function depth control to control this units. Let's do that. um I am doing this value equals to 1, because uh, when I have another thought in my mind, that when I'll be selecting a particular radio button, let's say I am selecting a Fahrenheit button, so it will return the value, like value is 1. So when we will be using these buttons to any another part and another file of the program, it will basically say it's returning the value of 1, so it must be Fahrenheit, or it returning the value 2, so it must be Celsius. So according to that, we'll be changing the value to Celsius or Fahrenheit. Similarly, let's create the Celsius button. and it's time to pack them. So basically with this part, side equals to left and side equals to right. I am basically doing this. What I'm not doing is I am taking the Fahrenheit radio button on the left side of our program, and Celsius button on the right side of our program. Now I need to dot control. I'm creating a main function here. Sorry. So, and that's pretty much it. Already here you can see I declared the var unit as int var the because the temperature value will be in integer. That's the reason. We can add another thing, that is I want to specify that when we'll be accessing the when we'll be accessing the weather GUI, it will first show the Celsius or Fahrenheit. If we want to specify some particular condition, we can do that using the invoke function. So let's say reduce Celsius dot invoke. So it is pretty much done. So in this module part, what I'm basically gonna do is on this part, I'm going to collect the data from the internet through the APIs and use and make a particular function for each of their attributes, so that we can access them through another files. So let's do that. Import request. Let's create a class. I'll be passing a location. Let's say I am going to pass my inbuilt location, my first location, Kolkata. That is, even if we didn't search any particular city on the weather app, as I am currently residing in Kolkata, the particular value of the weather in Kolkata will be shown to me. Then I can also search any other cities the weather. So if you are residing any outside part, outside other than Kolkata, you can give that part of that name, or you can also use pin code or zip code of your place that you are residing. It works fine with that too. So I'm creating an empty dictionary. Let's first see what I need to do for collecting the weather data. So weather API.com. So here you have to first log in or sign up. I'm going to log in first because I have already created my account. Let's see. So here is the API key. Yeah, after signing up, you will also get your API key, and it's for free. So let's copy the API key and let's paste it here. So API key. Now I need the URL. Let's visit the docs part. Sorry. Let's view the main page. The main page. Let's visit the view docs. Here is an excellent thing called API Explorer. So if I paste my API key and the location, let's search for Kolkata, and if I press show response, it will show the response. See? And this is the response header, the response body. So what we are getting, like name, region, country, latitude, longitude, time zone, local time, epoch, local time, current, last updated, and temperature C, temperature F. And with this part we can access the image also, but I am not going to use the image in this project. I'll add this feature later. So we have this wind in miles per hour, kilometer per hour, degree, direction, pressure, humidity, cloud, feels like a, etc. So let's see, this is my URL. Let's paste it here. So here you can see I have the Kolkata in. If let's change it into Delhi, let's see what happens. So I am getting the result for Delhi. That's how we can do this thing. So let's copy this URL. So I have copied my URL. Let's see how does it look. So here's the Kolkata and the no, and here is the API key. API key. So let's collect. So what we are going to do is collect the location data first. and I'll be taking. I'm just right now just defining the functions first, and I'll write their return and their coding part later. Let's do that. So I have created all this function. And this one is to get the location data. This one, and this one is to for the city. This one for the state, and similarly all of them. So now with this part and the fetch function, I am going to fetch the data from the through the API. So let's do that. Try. Sorry. API. Let's copy paste this. So here is the API key. API key. And now we have to use the URL. So the URL. Here I'm going to use the if string for the purpose. And instead of this, I'm going to use the API key. API key. Here you can use the API key of yours, and this is gonna be the query. So that's pretty much it. Now I need to collect the data. So here you can see I am in the first beginning of this program. I have declared a dictionary, empty dictionary self.weather data, and I am going to use this here. .json format. For the JSON basically what we are doing is taking this request and putting it into this weather data dictionary, and if it fails somehow, so for that I have the exception. So I have the exception save dot weather data equals to error. Basically, if there's something wrong with our API or net connection, I'll be getting an dictionary with this value error. So that's pretty much about this. Yeah, this weather. Now we have to create these functions. We already created. Now we have to use the functionalities, and for that, no. First of all, let's call them fetch function and pass the location. I think I used query then. Yes, so I shouldn't use location. You can use query equals to location, but I am going to use the location only. Now in this get log data, let's first visualize how our link looks like actually. So I already have a tab open for that. So this is the weather API. So I'm going to take this and this one. Let's print this and let's process it. So here we have location name. We have location name, region, country, etc. So in our location we have this name, region, country. So if we need to have the get log data, so we have to first access the location. So to do that, let's do this. So dot weather data location. Let's pass a variable name. Return. Sorry. Return string data. And name basically we are with this name part we are actually taking that this name region this part only. So let's do the get city. So what it will return is return save dot get log data name. It will return the city name. Similarly, I just copy this part. I'm going to use this a lot of times. We have the region. Here the country, and for the time zone I have this. For the time zone I have this TZ ID, time zone ID. So sorry, I don't know why it's not opening. Okay, so set ID, set ID. Now to get location data, uh, actually when I was working on this, I have found something. Instead of Delhi, if we use London, then the region actually becomes like the city of London, Greater London. It basically doesn't make sense. We are basically using we were basically using the state actually to represent state, but here for some certain part of our world, the region doesn't contain any state, but this kind of thing like city of London, Greater London. So to avoid this kind of bugs, I can usually easily do this. If Asia, so dot get time zone return. I'm returning an if string. So dot get city. So dot get city. So dot get state. Get state. Oh sorry. So this is the right format. Else dot get country. So basically what it does is if there is Asia in the time zone, then I'll be returning the city name and the state name, and if there isn't Asia present in the time zone, then will returning the city name and the country name, because we need to we want to avoid the certain times like for London we have the region as Greater London and stuff. So for that purpose. Now you can see this. So here within this current part we have this condition. Within this condition we have text, icon and code. So now it's time for the get condition text. Get condition justice dot weather data. So I'll be passing another parameter name, and I'm going to use that here, and I'm going to return I'm going to return a conditional statement here. Return the data if name equals to condition, else str data. So let's get this get current data. So I have created this condition. Let's return something. Return string condition text. So now it's time for to get the current data. Get the current data to self dot fuck. Now it's time for this condition text part. So first of all, what we need to do is condition equals to self dot get so now it's time for this get condition text. Actually, I should have defined this function before that, because I'm going to use this function inside this function. So to do let's do this. So now we need to first manipulate this get current data. So let's do data equals to self dot weather data. Current. I'm going to pass the name. I don't need a name here. Name. So I'm returning data in with some condition. If name equals to condition, if name equals to condition, I'm returning data. Else I'll be returning string data, because we already have seen that condition is actually an dictionary. So we have to we have to care about that, take care about that. So now it's time for the get condition text. To do that, condition equals to serve dot get current data. I'm getting the current data and passing the condition, passing the condition. Sorry, the mistake condition. So, and now let's return str condition text. So basically, I am returning the text part in the condition. Let's see what the text part contains. Within this condition, the text part contains the moderate or moderate rain with heavy turnout. That is, it basically explains how the weather is gonna be today. So we need this. This is a necessary part. So this is how we gonna get this part. Now it's a time for get current temperature in Fahrenheit. So we are basically tapping into the temp if value, temp if key. That is within this current data we have this temp if. Temps is basically the temperature in Fahrenheit, temperature in C. So we are basically tapping into this variable key values, and and all we need to do is this repeat this particular line again and again with different keys. So I'm going to fast forward this. I just copy pasted the same line again and again. Now I need to change the name. So get feels like it's what does it have in the feels like? And so we have this feels like app and feels like C. Let's copy this. So for feels like app, we have this. For feels like C, we have this. Let's see to get the wind speeds with mph and kmph. Any one is enough. Yes. This will be the kph and get the wind direction. Let's see. Wind direction, wind direction, windy. So yeah, basically it pretty much done. So we have There's a lot of heavy work here. Done. So now I I forgot to mention with each of these file folder we have to create an init file because I want to use it as a module. And this we don't need to write anything in this. We just need to create that. That's how Python will understand that this is a module. And so let's make this controller part. Make this controller part. We need to take the need to take them. So we need to use this model. Let's close all this. We need to use the view model inside this controller. Let's do that. So let's import them. View dot view. So basically this within this view folder and in this view file, I'm going to import view because we have this view. Now let it be the model dot model. I'm going to import weather. Let's make another class controller. Let's initialize it. Here I'm going to create a main. What it's going to do is save dot view dot main. Basically, we are tapping into the main function of view. We created this main function. This main function. We created this main function, and with this line, we are basically using that. Now let's create another. what we are doing is basically we are accessing this variable var location. Let's see where it is. And so we have can declared this var location, and we are giving the value whether get location from the model get we are giving the value this value. We are returning this value. Similarly, I'm not going to write each of them. I'm going to copy paste them. I've already written this program yesterday. Similarly, I'm doing the exactly same thing with different values. Now I am going to give some condition, and this is the condition for this Fahrenheit to Celsius, Fahrenheit at Celsius. We are basically setting the variable temperature as the current temperature in Fahrenheit. Where is the function? So this is the function. Get current temperature Fahrenheit. Current temperature Fahrenheit. And not only that, we have to update the feels like value too. Let's do this. And let's give the else statement, that is if it's not the value 1, it will give the Celsius. So it's pretty much same like the previous one. I'm just copy pasting this. If something goes wrong, it pass. I'm not going to show anything, I'm just going to pass this. Now I'm going to use the button search. If location not equals to null, no string value, then self dot weather equals to weather location. And I'm going to update the GUI to 0. What's the problem here? Now I need to call the update GUI function here. So it is done. Basically, it is done, but now I have to call this here. I think I need this model. Let's see what happens if I just give this. Should work. Let's see something if something. I have this. I have this problem. I just save this first. Further, I just forgot to save it. Let's, let's just go to our news app. Uh, for doing that, as I am going to call the tkinter from as I'm going to call a GUI application from another GUI application through a button. So for that, I need to use the top value, basically top level actually. Now it should work fine. Let's see if there's anything left to do. I think everything is perfectly fine. I think yes, I have to call the controller in this program, but I'm not going to call this as from controller.import. I'm just going to mention it. Otherwise, it will call an infinite loop between these modules. So what I'm going to do is save the result dot controller equals to controller, and I'm going to do this. Basically, I'm binding the enter key. If user press the enter, it will automatically search that. Now I need to do is give the command. So Sorry, I'm not in this part. With this button search, I need to give the command dot dot handle button search. Similarly, we have to do this yeah, for other parts. Radio buttons. We would call the update GUI function. Equals to self dot configure dot update GUI and equals to self dot configure dot update GUI. And as I think I need to give initialize with controller. Yes. And as we do this, I have to pass a value to the view in this part. Basically, I'm going to pass self. So I guess it's done by now. Now all I need to do is call the function here, and for that I'm going to call this first, and then I'm going to declare a function get weather. I think it should work now. It's no, I didn't give the command to the get weather. So here I need to give the command. I think it should work now. Let's hope for the best. So here is my app, and if I check weather, I think I have done some mistake in the view part. Oh, sorry, I didn't even call the functions. I back the main frame rate. Yeah. Okay. Call this function. Let's see. Now I think it should work. It's showing some errors. View object has no attribute where search. So I think I missed. I didn't declare the variable. Yeah, I declared this. What's wrong? Where is separate variable search? Hmm, What's wrong? Variables. What's wrong? Hmm, I have. I understand. I basically call these functions, I guess, before even declaring the variable. That's what causing the problem. Think let's let's see if it works or not. Let's see. Again, the same problem, but now with a different thing. Self.view has no attribute where conditions. I think it's a typo. I must have misspelled conditions and condition. Yes. Let's check it. Label condition right is not defined. I made a typo. Pretty much so much. So this is my app. It's showing the news, and if I check the weather, it's showing this. I think there's some problem with this right values. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is. What's wrong? Okay, here is going what you mean. Yes, conditions. Which broken? No, the still not working the right way. So I have made this mistake. That is, I didn't use the if string here. That's what causing the errors. So now I think it should work properly. So let's play this. So here is the app. So I think my net is pretty slow, and that is the reason it's delaying a lot. So here you can see that the our weather app, and it's currently currently showing the weather data for Kolkata. Now let's see, we are searching for Delhi and let's pressing enter. So we can see the current condition is moderate or heavy rain with thunder. It feels like 28, wind direction, wind speed. So I can also check for, let's say, for London. So it's perfectly working fine, and if we convert, we press Fahrenheit, it's showing the Fahrenheit and Celsius. So I think that's pretty much it about this program. I, I know it's pretty long and time consuming. So that's it. I think I should end this video now. Bye. If there's any problem, just ask me in the comment section. And thanks to College Finder for this excellent project. Bye.